as a couple. How long was it before you knew?
I would like to say it was, it was pretty early on.
It took me about 5 years.
5 years? So you barely got there.
I mean, when he proposed, I was like,
Get over the way.
what do I do?
Check the other options.
The couple wed on June 2012 near Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and had their son Wyatt just over a year later. Now Daddy is taking over the night shift when Mommy is working way late.
I would put him to bed and do the bath and everything, and then he would wake up and he'd be like, Mama, Mama, Nene, Mama. And I'd be like, it's just me and you, man. It's just me and you.
Just the Jews.
And then she would come home.
I
and then
came home at like 6 in the morning. He's passed out on top of Eric. It looks like a couple of frat boys with their shirts off. There's a bottle of milk is in the middle of the bed. They're both like this. Wyatt's got milk stains on his mouth, and I'm like, what happened? There's no covers on the bed. It's like a full-out war happened.
Now time for me to check out and let these two go one-on-one.
Here's my question for you. What was your first impression of me when we met?
I thought they hired you because you're super gorgeous and not because you were talented, and so I was mean to you the first time we met.
Oh.
What's your first impression of me when we met?
I thought you were a big jerk. You were a big jerk. But at the first table read, you laughed at my jokes and came up to me afterwards and apologized.
What is the one thing I do that always makes you laugh?
Every time you sneeze like 7 times, and then you howl like you're a wolf at the moo.
What is my most annoying habit?
You vacuum all the time. The vacuum cleaner is always going. I mean, it's a good thing. I'm sure a lot of wives really wish that their husbands would do that, but it's
first
like,
off, we
it's
need
so
to explain.
loud.
My favorite moment with Eric and Sarah after the interview when they walked outside, Wyatt, their small son, literally screamed out with joy at the sight of his dad, came rumbling over and gave Eric one of those huge, joyful toddler hugs that you wish you could package forever.
And in the loo we have... Hey. Oh. Wow. Looks like 2 girls peeing. It's like a barracuda eating a sandwich in the bathroom. I did. Wow! The show was a 4-minute choreographed MMA fight with LL Cool J. Really? And I'm about 175 and he's about 245. And I think if I would have known what I was getting into when I signed on, I never would have done it. With Danny, my co-star that plays Kenzie, I think that we always get the best reactions when she actually hits me. So all that stuff is real. Really? You'll see it's on the show.
My finger on it.
Her finger on it, and it burned a hole in my arm. But it's in the episode, and it's very funny. Week behind the scenes doesn't get any better than this. It just doesn't.
I'm going to show him the latest thing that I've been interested in, which is stand-up paddling, just because it's a great way to work out when you're not surfing, and it actually really makes you a better surfer. So it's, for your balance and your strength, and it just enhances your surfing. It's what I do most of the time when I'm not doing something else kind of crazy.
Eric's never been paddleboarding, so learning from Laird is a dream.
To come out here and hang out with Laird and to surf with Laird. The first time I ever saw anyone stand up paddleboard, I was at Paradise Cove, and we're all on our surfboards, and off in the distance we see someone coming like this, like standing up, and I was like, what is that? And it was Laird, and we're all like, hey, and he was like, what's up? And just paddled by, so I was like, what is he doing? He's standing on a surf. It was the first time. This is probably 12 years ago, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's the first time we'd ever seen stand-up paddleboarding. He's obviously one of the guys that kind of started it. So to do that here, to go full circle with that is it's amazing.
Do you like working with beginners?
I like to experience anybody's joy. So if no matter who you are, I can live vicariously through them. I see them with a smile, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that looks like.
I love it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Next stop, Paradise Cove, a public Malibu beach with deep roots in California surf culture. Gidget was filmed there.
I fell in love with 2 things. Jeff, my moon doggy, and surfing.
So we're Happy Days, the OC, Baywatch, and dozens of other productions. It's the quintessential California backdrop and the perfect location for Eric's perfect day.
I mean, you can't beat this. Look at that. Huh? I don't know if there's any place more beautiful in the world than where we are right now. California is amazing. I'll never move.
And neither will Laird.
There's no better place than being in Malibu. It's where the mountains meet the sea. I feel at home here.
And speaking of feeling at home, Laird made sure Eric had the right gear for the water.
The genius things that actually he was part of the group that created stand-up paddleboarding, and he's got the best equipment in the world.
And I have a line of boards that's called Laird Stand Up, and I've been doing it the longest, so I feel like my equipment has a little bit of an edge.
The thing that people don't know is you can use these on any body of water.
That's why it's growing in popularity, because you don't even need a wave. If the wind blows you and you're flying along on flat water, that's the sensation that surfers, spend their lives pursuing.
And how far do you sometimes go on these?
The longest I've paddled is about 88 miles. So I paddled for 22 hours one time.
88 miles.
Laird makes paddleboarding look easy, but once the two hit the water, Eric's rookie status didn't keep him from trying to show off. After about an hour, the guys paddled back to shore.
I look a little wet. How did that happen? I look like a champ. Just up and then into the ocean. And he's just looking at me like, come on, Olsen.
But we have a saying, there's no bad day in the water.
Look like these two are officially surf bros.
He did great. But he's a natural.
I listen too. You know what I mean? Otherwise I'm going to drown.
Well, and I definitely don't want to give you mouth to mouth, so we'll make sure you do it right. So that
Thanks for not letting me drown.
Yeah, it was a selfish
No, I appreciate
on my part.
it. No, I get it. I see how
Yeah. So
Actually, your stunt double.
Yeah. My brother was a Navy SEAL, and then on this show we have a lot of big stunts. So he would come pretty often and do, anything that's where they don't want me to light on fire, they put in my brother and let him dive through it. So yeah, he's here often.
Yeah.
Often enough to start a relationship.
Start a relationship with your co-star,
Yeah.
who is your love interest
My love interest on the
on
show.
the show.
Yeah.
Okay, man. Okay. Has he thanked you for the introduction?
That's a damn good question.
They
should both be thanking me.
part of the reason he might not say anything because he's a Navy SEAL.
He's very quiet.
Or he could kill you.
He can. He could kill all of us. He could be here right now with a sniper rifle. I'd be the first to go. You'd probably be second.
Well, see, I'm not. Once I see one person shot,
You just-
I'm in the back. Mine's in the back.
Just
That
go.
I know. And that comes from watching it.
A lot of
NCIS. Yeah, I know. Bullet entry go other way.
To play the sort of couple thing before we became brother and sister-in-law. So I think, and it's our job and we love doing it and it's fun. And I think the fact that we've gotten to know each other so well over the years just makes the family thing seem seamless.
It's pretty great too, because she's got River, who's 10 months, and I got Wyatt, who's 13 months.
Also with the babies, just going through the same phases of our life at the same time just kind of makes you relate even more. So if he comes in with bags up to here, I'm like, yep, I feel you.
Right.
I'm with you.
We get up at 3:30 in the morning to do affiliates in Pittsburgh, and we're just like,
So, Denzi, why do you think fans are so invested in that relationship, and where do you hope it goes? What can you teach us about the rest of the season?
I think these are great examples of real, flawed human characters that are just trying to put the pieces together. And I think as far as them both being incredibly independent, but then finding somebody that makes sense for them.
There's a mutual understanding of certain emotions, and I think they're both kind of broken because of certain things, and the fact that they're helping each other fix themselves.
I love Denzi. I'm waiting for that NCIS LA wedding, not to put the cart before the horse, but...
Three.
It won't happen anytime soon. But to a certain degree, I feel like it's kind of owed to these characters to end up together, whenever that may be.
Are you calling out for a Denzi wedding?
No.
See, you know what? You gotta have faster reflexes than that. That's what happens when you marry the jungle cat.